Alright, what you see here is a new fan I got recently out of a local business of sorts. This is a Hampton Bay industrial ceiling fan, and yes, as you can tell, it has a EnviroFan Goldline canopy on top. This actually came out of the same space that had the EnviroFan Goldline that I filmed many times throughout the years at the old cell phone store that became a toy store later on and then became vacant as of recently. I already did a video of the Goldline, so I figured it'd only be right to do a separate video about this one. Was going to do a new fan video reviewing both of them together, but I figured it'd be better if I did them separate because it would be an extremely long video and such. And I figured it'd be worth doing a video focusing just on this one. That way it has its own attention as well, not just the main focus being the Goldline and such. So yeah, I bought both of the fans, and basically, long story short, or backstory on this fan, I saw this one in the Goldline back in 2009 when it was a vacant space, and it was right across the street from that bakery that had now it has the Hampton Bay Triplicity, but now it became a bar shop, but it was the place that had the Harvey's Breezeway that I acquired directly across the street from it. It must have been sealed up for quite some time because I only saw them for the first time back in 2009. Before that, I never even noticed the Goldline being in there. But yeah, I do have some old photos of both of these and a missing memory card from back in 2009, 2010 time period at my dad's house, the log cabin. But if I ever do find it, I can post those on here finally. But it might be on one of my old computers, but I had to look for it. But yeah, this was behind a wall that was put in place after the Metro PCS moved into that space. So that's why this fan was never really shown on the channel up until about a year ago when I did a downtown ceiling fans in Salem video, and then I did a separate video of both of them together. This fan was in the back area, so that's why I couldn't show it. A door was propped open as the toy store was closing down. I was able to get a quick video of this one. They let me film it from out there just because the back room was off limits, but they let me at least get a video of it from the door frame, which I thought was kind of them, as they could have said no. The blades were installed upside down. That's why they're not 100% clean looking. This one also had copper on it, painted on the bottom. This one didn't clear up as good as the Goldline did. I could probably get some more of it off, but I figured I'd just leave it alone for now because I don't want to wear it out too much. And also my fingernails have kind of gotten a bit worn down just from using that metal sponge. My skin's kind of irritated from it, so I don't want to bother my skin that much. But it has a little blue mark on the bottom of this as well. I'm not sure if whoever made that swirl design in the Goldline tried to do it with this one as well, but maybe they weren't able to because it hung higher up in the air. But yeah, it has the Goldline canopy and the old mount from the Goldline. It was connected to a plug. My only guess is that they did this because since it had a plug and it was already J-hooked there, it would have been easier just to steal the money from the Goldline that used to be there versus trying to convert it to have a fan box there and put a mounting bracket due to Hampton Bay mounting that was included with this fan. It had to have been that the fan stopped working or something happened to it. Maybe it had a bad blade that got bent because the fan was pretty close to a wall even before they divided it. But yeah, it's from 2006. Originally, I was going to just get the Goldline, but this fan is a bit sentimental because I saw it with the Goldline at the time, and I also was very curious about seeing when this was put in, just to get an idea of when the Goldline was swapped out. It seems to have gotten swapped out, would have like 2 or 3 years before I actually saw these fans in person and such. But, yeah. Fan works. I do have the screws for it. I just forgot to put them back in place. I was kind of rushing this to get out of there to continue doing some DoorDash deliveries and such. But yeah, this one's in really good shape and such. The person that was renting the place was going to have a tattoo shop there. Was actually a neighbor that lives in this same building. And he told me that the best way to try to get these fans is to talk to the landlord. So when he ended up not having his business there, he told me that the landlord was going to be by at some point to inspect the place. And that's when I noticed that there were people in there, and I figured, okay, that has to be the landlord. So I asked the landlord, hey, I'd be willing to buy the fans off you. And well, he agreed, so I got the fans. I know some people are going to say, oh, they shouldn't have replaced the Goldline with this. I don't know what happened to the Goldline. If it got damaged or something, I don't know. Something had to have happened to it for them to replace it, but at least it was with one of these and not a Westinghouse Industrial or a Litex utility type of thing. Like, it was at least something decent. And it was a commercial space. It wasn't an industrial space and such. It would have been nice if the other one was still there, but can't always get it your way. But I do like these fans a lot, and this is probably the cleanest looking one that I got, aside from the paint on the bottom that I still need to get off. But in terms of cosmetic appearance, this one's in the best shape. It's not yellowed like the other three that I got. So I am glad to have this in. I could have left this one behind, but I was very curious to see when this one was from, and also since it was there, I figured why not? Because, and also I got a spare Canopy now for a Goldline, so there's also that. And this one I don't think got used all that much, so the capacitor in this one's probably in good shape still. I don't know if the older ones had bad capacitors over time, but the newer ones are much slower than these older Hampton made industrials from this time period. So this one's in pretty good shape. I figured this would be a good example of whenever I get around to testing it, of how these perform on the pristine, on their best condition and such, aside from being new out of the box. But yeah, very glad I got this one as well. The only other fan on that street that I have yet to acquire that's still there from when I filmed them back in the day is the other Hampton made industrial that's at that roast beef place that has a canopy above the drop ceiling. As I've already gotten the Hampton Big Quick Connects out of the diner, the Harvey's Breezeway, that was in the old bakery that's not a barbershop, the New Tone Pro line that was in a convenience store that's now a smoke shop. So I've gotten quite a few of them along with this and the Goldline. The only ones I wasn't able to acquire or save was the fans at the car wash, the New Tone Decorator with the spotlight, the Hampton Bay Gazebo in 42 inches, and the Dayton Marley Industrial that was rusted. And the fans are right in that gravestone pressing, the Canopy Tat fans. Can't save them all, but I am glad I was able to get as many of them out of the street as possible. Though Hampton Bay that's at the roast beef place is actually the first one I ever saw out in the wild as a kid. So I definitely would like to get that one. Yeah. So yeah, that'll be it for this video. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed, and stay tuned for more videos to come.